Hello, how are we? January is finally coming to an end. I know, I can't wait. For those of you who don't know me, it's Maria de Almeida. I'm a psychoanalyst, and if you have any questions about the videos or about my therapy, please send me a message. I have all the details in my website. Today is going to be the last video of the interpretation of the dreams, and we are going to talk about dreams distortion, the work of the dream. Remember that in my previous video we have put on hold the beta interpretation of the dreams to give you the basic concepts about the Oedipus complex. We use the Oedipus complex to explain why we have similar dreams and similar nightmares. Today, going back to the interpretation of the dreams, remember that Freud's theory said that after interpretation, all the dreams are wish fulfillment. As you can imagine, there were many people who criticized his theory and they were saying, okay, if this is true, what happens with annoying dreams? What happens with sad dreams, with scary dreams? How is it possible that they are wish fulfillment? The people who were criticizing his theory for this reason did not take into account that there is the manifest dream, which is the dream that reaches my consciousness, what we tell in the session, and there is the latent dream, which are the ideas behind the manifest dream. The manifest content can be scary. However, after interpreted, it appears like an unconscious wish. Freud realized that there is a work that the dream does who transform the conscious wish into the manifest dream. The dream is a result. It is a product of a process. It is a product of a process of distortion. Freud wonders, why does this distortion happen? Unconscious will never show up exactly as it is. It will always be distorted. It will always be disguised, displaced, in order to traverse the sensor. Otherwise, the sensor cannot tolerate it. The aunt was shocked because she was not feeling any pain when she was dreaming that her nephew was dying. She was not feeling any pain because the unconscious wish was that she was going to be finally her loved one. Remember that in my previous video about the Oedipus complex, I explained you that when we are kids and we finally repress the love for our mother and the fury for our father, we will be forever divided into consciousness and unconsciousness. Since that moment, the sensor is created, and the consciousness will want to know nothing about the unconscious. Because the unconscious never stops, it will have to always be disguised, distorted, condensed, displaced, in order to traverse the sensor. I'm going to go a bit further. Studying the dreams, Freud realized that the operations that transform the unconscious wish into the manifest dream are operations of the language. That the unconscious is structured as a language. These operators are mainly, but there are others, condensation, it will be metonym, and displacement, metaphor. How did Freud realize that there was condensation and displacement in the dreams? Well, when we dream, the manifest content is very short, and when we say it in the session, it is very long. On the other hand, normally we tend to dream with image, and when we put it in words in the session, it's a lot longer. This shows that there has been condensation. How did he realize that there was displacement? Well, because the main idea of the manifest dream is completely different from the main idea from the unconscious wish. This is because there has been a displacement. Displacement is a movement of the psychic accent. It moves from representations that the consciousness cannot tolerate to representations that consciousness can tolerate. In the dream of the auntie and the nephew is very clear. The auntie could not tolerate that he wanted to see a married man, to love him. This show up later in the interpretation that the man she loved was married, so she was not allowed to love a married man. She could not dream that directly because the conscious, the morality, would not accept it. Because of that, condensation, displacement, we get the manifest dream, which is that the nephew died, and it has nothing to do with the unconscious wish. Please remember that at the beginning, in one of the first videos, when I was trying to explain how the interpretation in psychoanalysis work, I already have told you that there is the manifest speech, when we talk, when we say things in the session, and then there is latent speech, which are the ideas, the unconscious wish behind that manifest speech. This is exactly what I just explained you through the dreams. There is an unconscious wish, there is condensation, displacement, so that it's disguised, distorted, displaced, and it can traverse the consciousness, the sensor, and then we get the manifest dream. As you can see, the interpretation of the dreams is amazing, and it's also very complex. I have tried to simplify as much as we could, because also I didn't want it to make it very long. But please remember that the objective of all this interpretation of the dreams, and the reason why I explained it to you, is to show you how Freud had understood the functioning of the unconsciousness. This is huge. This means that exactly the same as he understood the work of a dream, he understood the work of a joke, of a sleep, of the speech, of the symptoms, and of a whole disease. So this means, and you are not going to believe it, that exactly as the dreams are unconscious wishes disguised, symptoms are unconscious wishes disguised. So of course, why do we need to be sick? We don't need to be sick. With psychoanalysis, we can interpret symptoms, and we can find that there are different ways of living. This is what I will explain you in my next videos. I will explain you why we get sick and how we can fix it. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you. Bye.